Okay, this episode marks the end of our season, the end of the session for the legislature, I guess, and then for us here at Your TV. So I wanted to use this as a season wrap-up and sort of capture the whole year and sort of where we are and where we've come from. On the first part, the legislative part, we've been talking for some time about the private members bill that you've been sponsoring.
Yep. So the Murray Waitung Community Service Award is an award for cadets, exceptional cadets who volunteer more than anyone else does in the Corps Squadron. It's named after Murray Waitung, former resident of Curve Lake. Murray passed away February of 2021. He was a Second World War veteran. And what we found out when we were doing the research on the bill is that almost 4,000 First Nation veterans voluntarily joined the Canadian Armed Forces during the First and Second World War. They were exempt from conscription because they weren't considered Canadian citizens at the time, but they still volunteered. A number of them, while they were serving overseas fighting for Canada, lost their status as Indians because they were off reserve for more than 4 years. We saw that as an injustice, and we think that the ability to, or the desire to give back to your community, to volunteer, to do it simply because you see the value in giving back is what should be celebrated and rewarded, and that's what the award is about. We are finally scheduled for committee hearings, which is the second last stage. The committee hearings will be July 13th here in Peterborough between 10 o'clock in the morning and noon, and then again from 1 until 6. We're expecting to have at least 12 presenters come and talk to the bill and what they see the award for. What we're really hoping for is some feedback from some of the Indigenous veterans. We've spoken to them privately, but we'd like to have their voice on the record.
And then what happens after your committee? Let's assume then that everybody's in favor of it, goes back to the legislature in the fall, gets subsequent readings, and ultimately passage and proclamation?
Yes. So we're looking probably, if everything goes well in committee, and there aren't too many modifications that they want made to it, we would be looking at late fall for it to come back into the legislature for third reading, to be passed and then proclaimed early in the new year so that the awards can be handed out next June.
Okay, well, congratulations if we can get this going for private members' bills. Not an awful lot get through. So if
about 1% of private members' bills that are introduced actually get turned into law.